It's that time again. Another year has passed us by, and with it has gone another year of anime. We got good shows, we got bad shows, but the real question is, what are the moments that are going to be remembered? 2023 was a year dominated by absolute heavyweight shows just completely taking over. Anime seemed inescapable whether you were a fan or not. Successful live-action adaptations, legendary series coming to an end, memes, so many memes. It feels like the influence of a handful of shows have truly seeped into mainstream pop culture and only continues to grow from there. But there were still some other things happening around our little sphere. Anime fans continue to find any opportunity to complain about CG. This time even Demon Slayer was catching strays, with viewers complaining about how these fishes look like an absolute joke. How dare any animation studio consider this acceptable quality, they cried. Meanwhile, in Isekai land...
What the fuck?
This...
Are you kidding me?
Says in back teach.
Bro, what the fuck is that? That looks so off-putting. It looks like a PlayStation 3 or a PlayStation 2 monster model. What is that? That looks scary looking. What is that thing? Like, it does the job, but it looks so off-putting. There's this uncanny valley. It was just like, it doesn't fit well.
Is what peak CGI looks like.
Peak CGI.
2 lines and got 44 million views, 400k likes, and 100,000 retweets. Meanwhile, I'm out here drawing at least 8 lines, and I'm still waiting for Shonen Jump to hit me up with that manga deal. One Piece defied all odds by giving us a live-action adaptation that didn't suck, while the Jujutsu Kaisen fanbase came together to collectively say, nah, I'd win. Which is what I think they say when they enter a contest of who can more effectively spoil their fucking series. But they would probably win against this random dude from Mashal.
I'm Rhodes Emus!
I mean, look at him. He lasted like 2 seconds. Who the hell would play a character like that? Probably some dumbass hack. For real though, it's been 10 years now since I've been doing these yearly anime recaps. I have gone through a bloody decade of anime, and a lot has changed during that time. I can only imagine the wild things that were happening in 2013 back then. Hayao Miyazaki finishes his latest feature film, The Wind Rises, just before announcing his retirement from filmmaking at the ripe young age of about 197 years old. So that was a fucking lie. There are a lot of shows that didn't make my list this year. Not because they weren't good, but because I didn't have much to say about them other than it was good. Hell's Paradise was fun. So was Mashal. So was Undead Unluck. One day, I'm sure the West will appreciate Uma Musume as much as Asia does. Today
Okay, I always wanted to give this anime a try. With the horse racing anime girls. Is it good? Has anyone watched this? This looks interesting. I want to know, has anyone seen this anime? I've been thinking of watching it, but I don't know what to think of it. Like, I don't know.
Says law.
I've seen it many times on my For You page sometimes. On TikTok.
Says no.
Nope. Shit. I wanna know. I kind of want to see it, but I don't want to waste my time and get invested in this like nothing burger. I don't like that. That makes me so mad. Ah! I should watch a review, but I feel like if I watch a review, I feel like I watched it. That's what makes it weird. It's a weird hamster wheel thing for me.
Today is not that day. Mushoku Tensei continued my favorite isekai story of all time by having its main character go,
I cannot get it up.
People have been trashing Rudy left, right, and center, but I think he's proved he's a real gentleman by showing that he never, ever raises his sword at a girl. Alright, let's get to my favorite shows of the year. But before we do, a quick word from my sponsor, Bespoke Post. Bespoke Post is a monthly membership club delivering a box of awesome top-shelf good from under-the-radar brands. Every month, they introduce their members to cool new products based on a preference quiz they fill out. They've got awesome clothes, cool stuff for your house, camping, and cooking gear. Basically, just high-quality stuff in every category. 90% of their products come from small brands based right in the US. They now offer a new membership program where you can get really great...
Don't care.
The zombie genre is probably one of the most saturated and overdone genres you can find in any entertainment medium. About 10 years ago. Yet somehow in 2023, we still got an entirely fresh and original take on it in Zom 100. Zom 100 tells the sad story of Mapper employees, overworked and undervalued by the company overlords that run their lives. It takes an entire zombie apocalypse for a Kira to start living the life he should have. This show felt like a personal call
Oh, I
out.
thought that was me who did that. I thought that was me who did that. I was making it fast. Like, what the hell?
For anyone who's ever worked a dead-end job in their lives and has daydreamed of something, anything happening to take away their responsibility out of their hands, even if that thing is the end of the world. Akira personifies that feeling of pure freedom we all secretly wish we had. That feeling that breaks the shackle of responsibility, of having to go to work, of having to wake up for school the next day. Eren Yeager looks at him and goes, "Fuck that guy," which is embodied in one of the most impressive opening episodes all year, where you could feel that every single person working on it channeled their passionate hatred of all the previous employers that had ever wronged them. Unfortunately, it felt like a lot of the hype got taken away, largely due to episode releases being plagued with constant delays because of time slots and supposed production issues. Oh hey, would you look at that? Even though the show lost some steam as it went on and was tonally a bit all over the place at times, it was still a fun little
I am not gonna lie, this green hair character, I'm pretty sure someone was watching My Hero Academia and just said, you know what? I'm gonna put All Might in this shit. Just his younger, more alive version of himself. Not before he's looking like a superhero. I'm talking about when he looked like he was in his early 20s.
show I think anyone could enjoy, because in this day and
Like,
age
look at that
where
hair,
it feels
look at
like
it.
people are fighting tooth and nail just to survive, I think a lot of us could use a story about one man reminding us all how to live.
I don't care.
The most respected genre in anime, but this year we saw the 100 girlfriends who love you come along and personally made sure that it never will be. This is the story of a man who got rejected so many times, who had such negative riz. God took pity and gave him 100 different girls he had to date or they'd all die. This was like watching someone dying of thirst in the desert, and then God goes, "Alright, I've got a solution." I'm listening. Just fucking drown him. But what God didn't plan for is that he chose someone who could chug the ocean dry and still have room for more. 100 Girlfriends has a concept so dumb, it will need to be as batshit crazy as its own premise to even have a chance at making it work. And that's exactly why it does. It's stupid, it's unhinged, it knows exactly how insane it is, and then runs with it 10 kilometers past where it needed to go. By all means, this show shouldn't have worked if we didn't have the greatest harem protagonist to bring it all together. Yes, we were graced with the apex of boyfriends, the partner she tells you not to worry about. He may look like the most unthreatening guy possible, but watch him be like, "Don't worry, I come in peace. Hi, what's your name?"
Peace.
It's rare for me to laugh at a comedy anime,
Okay.
and even rarer when it comes to lowbrow harem rom-coms, but 100 Girlfriends was a showcase of how to do a parody correctly. Reinforced by Bibury Animation Studio doing a bang-up job selling all of these jokes in the anime adaptation. They went above and beyond, and I can't wait to see how they adapt the manga beyond the whoa, wait, what? Why are you all running away?
Holy shit! Who wrote that? What the hell? What the hell was that? Oh my god. Oh my god, man. That took me... Whoa, what the hell? What is that?
In the minds of anime fans, 3D animation comes in two tiers. There's the Berserk 2016 tier, a show so disastrous it has scarred the anime community from 3D anime to this day. And then there's this, the aesthetic that looks like one of those games I apparently won't last 5 seconds playing. The real ones know though that Studio Orange has been out here creating their own tier. Every project they seem to continually push themselves, one-up themselves, and Trigun Stampede is their best looking show yet. Not just with some of the jaw-dropping action sequences and camera work, but small micro-expressions and camera animation that give their work just a bit more life. They are still continuing to push the boundary of what is possible in a 3D anime in every way possible. When I got the lucky opportunity to talk to a producer at Studio Orange, he called themselves the hentai of the anime industry. And, well, that's pretty accurate because what they've done with Trigun Stampede has got me bricked up. Alright, but how's the show? Trigun is one of the most beloved anime from the old school Adult Swim era, and when you take on the mantle of rebooting a franchise like this, you always have to contend with picky fans comparing each and every little change in detail. Vash's bounty is way smaller, he has a different haircut, different gun,
Oh, that's cool. How was it?
character designs that looked like this, now look like this. Huh, now where have I seen this aesthetic before? Oh. The spaghetti western feel takes a backseat to fully flesh out a hard sci-fi story. It's more dark, more gritty. One of my favorite things from the original being Vash and Wolfwood's epic buddy cop dynamic feels a tad more intense.
I'll skin you alive and play with your bones until you're begging to die.
Says it
You
was
got
a
that straight.
Valentine's Day too. All right.
Make no mistake, this is an entirely new Trigun, but one thing I can always respect is when a reboot tries to do something different that the original didn't already do, and by the end of the season, it becomes abundantly clear what all these changes were leading up to, and goddamn did it leave me wanting more. In a time where I feel like we're getting starved of good, hard science fiction anime, this has to be one of the most unique and interesting sci-fi worlds we've seen in years. And I honestly think the way things are set up, it has the chance to do even more than the original did if it gets future seasons. When people remember Trigun, they say, oh yeah, Trigun, I freaking loved Trigun. But if you ask them before that what they recommended we go back and watch, Cowboy Bebop, Full Metal Alchemist,
Yeah.
Trigun has always
Yeah. Trigun, it's always being overshadowed by these two. Like, Trigun was up there with Gundam Wing, well, a little after, I think. Gundam Wing, Cowboy Bebop, Full Metal Alchemist, like, within the Toonami era, right? But for some odd reason, whenever you say, let's watch something that is old, but that is a classic to watch when growing up, they'll just pick those three. They never pick Trigun. Which is like a more friendlier, I guess, Cowboy Bebop if you stop and think about it. Right? But it always got overshadowed by its predecessors that was playing on Toonami or Adult Swim, depending on what time of when it was airing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was very weird. And it's not like it was never a bad show. It was really good to watch. That was the weird part about it. It was really, really weird. It was at Valentine's Day too. Yeah, cool. But like, it was a very weird thing. I never understood that. No one talks about Trigun like that. They just kind of like know of it. They think it's cool. They claim it's cool, but they never bring it up. At all.
Been on that second or third echelon of recommendations behind the classics, and I fully believe that with what Studio Orange have set up with this season, it has the potential to go up to this tier.
I can see the future.
Oh, Madam Web comes out in a few days? It comes out on Valentine's Day. I don't think anyone's gonna go watch this. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be a negative Nancy, but like, Jesus, I don't think, given what I've been hearing about Madam Web, unless they pull some like crazy shit that's just so you can't like ignore, I don't think it's gonna do as well as Marvel or Sony thinks it's gonna do, especially if it's connected to the whole Spider-Man thing. Like, I especially the Tom Holland Spider-Man if possible, but like, I don't know. It's a weird one. That's a weird one. Jesus Christ, I hate when that happens. God, that's why I don't like using the phone.
There were few anime last year that exploded onto the scene as fast as Oshinoko did. Our hearts were torn to shred in a tragic 90-minute opening episode.
Says
A new
I
mess
didn't
was
even know
formed as
about
anime
it
companies
until
saw the
I saw it in a hotel I was staying at.
For real? That's kind of sad. That shows how terrible the marketing probably was, or that's how unconfident they are on the project, because it's like, I thought it was coming out like somewhere in the middle of the year, not like recently. It feels too early. That feels too early, in my opinion, for Madam Web.
feature-length opening premiere and said, wait, you can do that?
It's free real estate.
The opening song became the very first Japanese song to top the global Billboard 100 charts. The people of my anime list came together and went, fuck you, Full Metal Alchemist, this is the greatest anime ever made. Then, everyone remembered there was an entire rest of the show you needed to watch. Describing the plot of Oshinoko is like, alright, so there's a doctor who's a huge fan of this one idol, then it turns out that idol he likes shows up at the hospital, but then it turns out he gets reborn as that person, crazy fan comes back and murders their mom, and it's maybe the same person, maybe not, but then he finds his mother's really traumatic. So, So, it's an idol anime? No. Sometimes Oshinoko is a victim of its own insane premise. Like, I don't even know if I fully understand this main character. A grown-ass, idol-obsessed man who gets reincarnated as the son of the girl he idolized and grows up being obsessed with his now mum and any other girl who even remotely reminds him of her. Like, if I call him a motherfucker, is he more likely to say fuck you or yes please? Here's a feed of Sigmund Freud's grave right now. But behind all that, the show shines as this interesting, no bullshit, Instagram filters off look at the Japanese entertainment industry, showing you what really happens behind those closed doors when the cameras are turned off.
I hate the media!
This was the show that tricked everyone into thinking they were watching another idol anime, when in reality it was almost the complete opposite. And the real ones know the true thing single-handedly elevating the reputation of idol fans in 2023 is the sheer existence of Aoi Todo. With how popular this got, I find it interesting how much I heard this title being thrown around last year when most people saying it probably didn't even know what an Oshinoko is. See, in Japanese, Oshi means a person who I support, and in idol culture is normally used to refer to someone's favorite idol. So the term Oshinoko has a clever double meaning that could be my favorite idol or my idol's children, which both perfectly describe the show. Basically, what I'm trying to say is Oshis are worshipped in idol fandom in the same way that Taylor Swift has become the Jesus for white women.
Yeah, like, see? You see what I'm saying? Why is this woman, why? Why is this woman being loved? I don't get it. Can someone explain to me why is this a thing? Hold on. I thought I was in trouble for like, but okay, it's still going. Okay, it's okay. We're good. It's just really weird. I hate that.
Saying you're a fan of isekai feels a bit like saying you're a fan of British food. People think you're consuming the most bland, tasteless piece of garbage the world has ever seen. But sometimes I have a friend come visit and they have a taste of a proper full English breakfast, a perfectly cooked Sunday roast. They try some of our Cornish pasties, our crisps, and it's like, damn, this is pretty good actually. That is my Eminence in Shadow. This takes every single trashy, cliche tropes you scoff at in isekai and wears it like a badge of honor. Edgy main character, an army of girls in his harem, blatant power fantasy, nonsensical plotlines, cheesy dialogue, boobs. You know it shouldn't work, but it wears it all so proudly you start getting convinced that it's actually cool. It's not that it isn't stupid. It is stupid, but it doesn't give a fuck if you care or not. And I thought this would eventually run its course until I kept watching and realized that this has a more interesting plot and better world building than 90% of isekai out there, which actually says less than you think. For as self-aware as it is, it spares no expense in building up this fully fleshed out world with so many moving parts. Every new arc, you see the dominoes being perfectly laid out. It's all set up for Sid to come in and topple them on the biggest stage possible, and even though you know it's happening, when the moment comes, it delivers. Every single time. This was the most fun I had with any show all year, and just when I think the plot has nowhere else to go, Season 2 ends with a world-shaking development that made me go, fuck! Why aren't more isekai doing this? I guess what I'm trying to say is, I really miss Greg's.
Greg the Shed here. The new lawnmower.
What the hell?
Is the perfect tool for your...
What the hell? Whoa! How did he do that? What the hell? That's definitely going in the video. What the hell? How the gig do that? What the hell? No, am I the only one who caught that?
Says Law.
What the hell? Okay, that scared the bejesus out of me. Like, he said, he made a, okay, for those who didn't understand what just happened. So, Gig just made a joke, a pretty dry joke. I think it was about the British food thing. And he was talking about the isekai thing. At the far end, he said, I really miss Greg's. I guess it's a type of food or something. I don't know. Some type of brand name food in British culture, right? As soon as it went to commercial, the dude in front of you that's holding this what you call it?
Says NVM and still on my date. Law will talk later, teach.
Oh, okay. But the dude who's holding this what do you call it? The shape thing, whatever for your face, I forgot what it's called. said his name was Greg. What was the odds of that happening? That was amazing. That's gonna be in the video. Not gonna cut that out. What the hell? Okay, that got me. I'm not gonna lie, that got me hard.
Your grooming experience. Today, I'm going to
Dude's
show
name
you
is
how to
Greg,
use
and he said I miss Greg's.
not like literally show you how to use. The waterproof technology allows immersion up to 1 meter of fresh water.
Hey, hey, hey! I'm not doing this.
One
I
man's
think
freedom
not.
is another man's genocide. Eren Yeager, probably. Attack on Titan ended this year, and the internet had opinions. If you only browse Twitter...
Wait, nope, not talking about Attack on Titan. I have not finished that. Fuck out of here. Skipping that. Sorry.
Sometimes you just need a dose of wholesomeness to brighten up your day, but being a dude watching anime can sometimes feel like...
So what anime have you been watching? Oh, I'm watching this anime called Skip and Loafer, and it's just one of the most cute and adorable... Yo, you catch the latest episode of Jujutsu Kaisen at all?
There was nothing in 2023 that made me come out of every episode feeling as good as Skip and Loafer did. This shit was a weekly injection of sunshine into my veins. I mean, just look at this opening alone. The colors, the vibes, the catchy song, this goddamn dance. It's enough to make any grown-ass man internally scream, "Ah! This is so cute!" Fuck yeah, violence, am I right, lads? Skip and Loafer is about as straightforward as you can get. A country bumpkin moves to the big city and adjusts to her new high school life.
Nope, but we're gonna definitely watch that next. After this whole video, we're watching the Deadpool trailer. Thank you for bringing that up. Thank you for bringing that up. I'm just gonna say, keep going. You're an awesome person. P.S. Make character design tutorial vid, please. I eventually will. I will have to. But I'm trying to build up on my YouTube cred over here. And a tutorial too. I got art
Says
tutorials,
yes,
but
yes, hopefully it saves Marvel.
if it's a character design specifically, I will have to make one. I will make one. I will. I promise. If you're still in here, Lux. But thank you for asking. I will do that.
It doesn't need any complex plot because it exudes this air of authenticity that makes you feel so goddamn good. It's rare to find an anime as genuine as this one, because when I say high school life, I don't mean your typical cutesy anime high schoolers that are like, these are teenagers, real teenagers, just enjoying their lives to the fullest. No melodrama, no overly anime bullshit. This is youth and adolescence at its most pure without feeling like it's been put through some moe anime filter, and there's just something so endearing about that. I'm an adult, why would I be interested in teenagers? Look, as a certified man, wait, that line sounded really wrong. Look, as a certified man baby pretending to be a grown-up, let me tell you, adulting sucks. We have jobs, we have responsibilities, we have goddamn taxes. Sometimes you yearn for a time when life was simpler and more straightforward, and maybe that time is romanticized. Maybe you're looking back at that time through rose-tinted glasses. But whether you are or you aren't, you'll never know, because we'll never be able to get that time back again. Ever. And it's those little moments, those simple times you cherish and reminisce about that this show encapsulates perfectly. Like, there's this one scene where our main girl comes home for the first time during her summer break. She stayed up way too late catching up with her friends and slept in, but it's alright. Her mum's taken the day off and she has the whole summer ahead of her. So on this boiling hot day, her mum slices her up a watermelon and the episode slows down to a crawl as we see her just taking a moment to enjoy this watermelon while the sounds of summer ring on in the background, and she just stops and just appreciates. And just like that, her summer was over.
Oh my god, they keep pushing this stupid game. Oh. I wanted to finish this, no. I didn't get to finish that. I actually want to finish that. What anime is this? Ooh, it looks interesting.
And I don't want to watch these Chinese cartoons, but in 2023, anime went, alright, but what if we had Chinese cartoons? Japan.
Japan.
Apothecary Diaries is an anime that takes place in ancient China, not China, in a palace setting that immediately reminded me of these badly dubbed Chinese soap operas I sometimes walk into my mum watching as a kid. At the beginning, I didn't fully realize what the big hook of this show was. Was it the House MD style medical detective stories? Was it the historical drama surrounding the palace politics? Yes. But on top of that, it has, simply put, the best female character we could find all year. And sometimes, that's all it takes. For far too long, anime seems to think we want only one thing, and it's this. No. How about nothing more than just a well-written, believable,
I do. I guess I'm the 1%. I do.
compelling female protagonist? And this.
What? No! Why?
The best female character we could find all year. And sometimes, that's all it takes. For far too long, anime seems to think we want only one thing, and it's this. No. How about nothing more than just a well-written, believable, compelling female protagonist? And this. Mao Mao is a character that deserves to be in the running for one of the best protagonists we saw in 2023, and was such a breath of fresh air to see. Her presence was overpowering without conforming to what a lot of shows seem to think a good female character is. It's not that she's not like other
He's talking about you, Westerners! Oh, man.
girls, or premium waifu bait, or a strong female character trait.
I did it again.
A girl. A well-written, believable one that doesn't forget that she's a person first before being just another girl. She doesn't have to be unfeminine to find the overly flirtatious attitude of some pretty boy unappealing. She cannot be your typical waifu bait and still absolutely slay when she needs to. She's not strong because she can beat up 100
Can we stop saying this fucking word called slay? It is cringe. No grown man should be saying the word slay.
guys, but because she's headstrong in her own values and beliefs. Here is a clever realist who acknowledges her place in the palace hierarchy but isn't afraid to throw hands when shit needs to get done. God damn, my girl just factory reset that bitch. Seeing Mao Mao passionately solve these medical mysteries while asserting her fucking dominance all over the palace politics made this such a compelling watch. And hopefully more shows will be able to take note of great characters like this. Appreciating the statue of David up close, getting to see Lionel Messi dribble past 5 players, watching Jack Nicholson command every scene he's in. It doesn't matter what the subject matter is, it's always enthralling to see an absolute master of their craft at work. And that's the exact feeling I get whenever I get to see anything written by Naoki Urasawa, and Pluto was absolutely no exception.
I once created a robot that was perfect. The greatest robot the world has ever seen.
There are only a few mangaka that can boast such a legendary status as Urasawa himself. When you have a track record of titles like Monster, an absolute masterpiece with arguably the greatest villain anime has seen. 20th Century Boys, not just my favorite manga of all time, but one of my favorite pieces of fiction to exist. Pluto is meant to be one of his weaker works, according to diehard fans. And goddamn, if this is him operating at his lowest potential, this is like sending in your weakest fighter, and that fighter turns out to be Gojo fucking Satoru.
You know.
And wait. Yeah, that analogy checks out. This has all the calling cards of a classic Urasawa tale. He sets the stage, a sci-fi world where humans and robots coexist, a series of unsolved murders, a detective that is missing part of his memories, a robot that has done the impossible and taken a human life. He hooks you into his world and leaves you with a single question when the first episode ends. Just how deep does this rabbit hole go? The man's ability to construct a mystery and captivate an audience through his mastery of suspense, to me, has the same level of craftsmanship as seeing a master blacksmith make a legendary sword. Every episode is so dense with emotion, a plot that will keep you guessing through all the twists and turns, sitting on top of the sheer thematic depth of the story that every single character carries on their back. And by the end of it all, he'll leave you with these ideas that you'll be thinking about far after the credits roll. This is some of the finest storytelling you can find anywhere. If I had to make a guess why this didn't make as big of an impact as it probably should have, well, this was an adaptation of a sci-fi manga that was written 20 years ago that was originally a reimagining of Astro Boy, a manga that came out 60 years ago. So, inevitably, there might be some aspects that feel a bit dated. What's this? A war involving the invasion of some Middle Eastern country predicated on the possible developments of robots of mass destruction? Oh hey, there's a guy called Adolf. He's a bad guy.
I couldn't agree with you more, Mike.
Hey, 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 hey,
Warm ending, this doesn't take away from the legacy of one of the greatest mangakas alive right now. So, I have one question left. Are we ready to attempt a 20th Century Boys anime?
Domain expansion.
When you watch an action anime, you normally go through a season where you might see a ton of great action, but you know it all builds up to this one, or at most 2 episodes where the production values skyrocket and you're treated to this insanely animated fight that will drop your jaw to the floor. These are the scenes that everyone remembers and defines the top fights of the year. Jujutsu Kaisen went, how about we do that? For every single episode. I don't think I've ever quite experienced the collective adrenaline-filled ride Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2 has given me. You put on an episode and be watching some of the sickest shit that's ever been put on screen, and you think to yourself, there's no way they could ever top this. And it's at that moment the show will look you dead in the eye and go, I'll fucking do it again. And then it does. Again and again and again and again and again and again. So many amazing moments, so many sick-ass scenes. Midway through the season, the hype got to me, and I excitedly tweeted out, it should be goddamn illegal for an anime to go this hard. That was the same day all this came out. One of the biggest talking points has been Mappa's treatment of their animators during the season, and I think it's a testament to the blood, sweat, and tears poured into this that we got a product this fantastic despite the hellish working conditions they were going through. Demon Slayer, Mob Psycho, this may not have gotten the opportunity to be as polished as shows like that, but it is unmatched when it comes to its raw stylistic flair. Every single fight has a unique identity not constrained to one genre of action. We got gritty hand-to-hand combat, citywide disaster-level brawls, insanely unique powers, idle dance beatdowns, there was a mecha fight, a fucking mecha fight in a shonen anime.
Not gonna lie, that blew my mind too. When I saw the mecha fight, I'm like, where is this going? Like, what has this show become? Like, it was a giant mecha fight for like no reason. It was kind of funny. Like, I was like, whoa, they got mechs in this? I was like, you know what? What can this show not do?
The amount of hype, the amount of fucking sheer disrespect. We got fucking rabbits throwing hands. This was one of the greatest showcases I've ever seen of, for lack of a better term, fucking cool shit.
Dude, can we calm it down with the swears, please? As much as I don't mind the cursing, TikTok does. Can we just clean that down a little bit? You know what? I'm gonna say this. My Chinese TikTok overlords, you guys are amazing. I love every last one of you. I love Chinese food, and I love everything about TikTok. TikTok is amazing. Love, 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 love everything about TikTok. I love him. I love TikTok. TikTok is amazing. It has gave me birth to my entire life. Like, the TikTok has just has been nothing but just a godsend to me. I just love TikTok. TikTok is amazing. Chinese.
Felt like the purest celebration of fight scenes and choreography. We were in the audience. They got to marvel at a symphony of some of the coolest set
That should be good enough to, like, counterbalance the problem.
pieces you can find in the medium. The Shibuya arc may not have been peak storytelling, or the
And for those of you who are going to rewatch this, I'm only saying this nonsense is because I'm streaming to all platforms at once. And yes, all platforms, Trovo, YouTube, Twitch, Kick, Twitter, and also TikTok itself, and any other, and YouTube. So, you know, I'm just trying to keep all my bases open, you know?
peak of all shonen arcs, but right now, this is the peak of action spectacle.
The way elves see this world is a mystery.
I thank you, Freyren. It's solely because of you that this retired hero could have one final adventure.
Freyren opens on the story of an elf girl who takes for granted the time she has with the people around her. Decades pass in the blink of an eye, her companions age, and before she has the chance to fully get to know them, they're gone. It's a regretful, poignant tale that shoots straight to your goddamn soul. And then the opening's like... The show took a different approach to fantasy adventure while encapsulating everything that the genre is about. There might not be any demon lord to defeat or world to save, but instead we have a journey about appreciating the smaller things in your life. The beautiful things you might have missed if you forgot to look for them. I showed this to a mate and he was like, "Freeren? You mean Side Quest, the anime?" And I bloody ate it. Because of how
Freeren, SideQuest, the anime.
fucking accurate that is. Yet it's through those detours you take along the road to your destination that Freeren absolutely shines. It's the type of show that grips you without ever needing to hit you with any flashy, high-intensity action scenes to keep your attention, and then it hits you with these flashy, high-intensity action scenes. This series didn't need to go hard in its animation in any way, shape, or form, but chooses to do so anyway. This is what it's like to watch a fully polished product. But like Freeren's own journey, these are not the moments that stick with you. For the world-saving adventure she went on, the slice of memories we get are those small moments that really defined the time she spent with her party. And as she forms new bonds, you start to see those small pieces she begins to pick up from the people around her that slowly become a part of her. This is what every fantasy tale aspires to be. It's shows like these that somehow make you nostalgic for an experience you've never had, friends you've never made, but at its heart, it's a gentle reminder to cherish the things in your life that really matter, to make the most of the time with the people you truly value.
Einar, I've killed so many people. I will be reborn. And I will atone for all that I've done. That's all we've ever wanted. Something in this world that can give us a reason to keep going.
When I was a kid, my father would read me bedtime stories that my childish mind would always be absolutely immersed in. Accounts of hungry caterpillars, rainbow fishes, ugly ducklings. These were the greatest stories I'd ever heard, because they were. But it would always end off with a message, a seed that got planted in my head that would hopefully sprout into a lesson that would stick with me. And as you grow older, start learning new lessons by experiencing real life, you forget the effect that stories can have on you. A good story can not only entertain you, it can move you, give you a new perspective, teach you something you never knew you could learn that you can take far beyond the confounds of watching some piece of entertainment. That is the power of a great tale, and that is everything that Vinland Saga Season 2 encapsulates. I cannot begin to describe the sheer effect this show had on me. Season 1 was a compelling adventure filled with tragedy, vengeance, and violence. So to anyone coming into this season blind, you probably would have been taken aback. The violence takes a backseat to a pure, methodical character drama. Vengeance has been replaced by a saga of redemption and acceptance. Honor, glory, sacrifice, all left by the wayside, and all that remains is people just trying their best to find their place in this merciless world. While most series would cower at the thought of shifting gears this drastically, it is that strong juxtaposition that gives Vinland Saga's message the weight it has, exemplified by possibly the greatest character development we've ever seen in this medium. Thorfinn's transformation is something that transcends entertainment.
Isn't it funny that the Japanese wrote a better European story than the Americans? You know how awkward that is? How awkward is that? You know how awkward that is? That the Japanese studio wrote a better story, European story, than people who wrote Game of Thrones? That is...
A man who starts off as a shell of a human, broken, empty, unworthy of redemption.
That's just
but through
sad.
every person he meets, every relationship he forms, he starts to learn to pick up the broken pieces of his former self that slowly but surely fill his soul up.
I'm not gonna lie. When I first saw this show, I thought I was not gonna like it. I'm not gonna lie. I went with it because of hype. But when I watched it and I actually got into it, I was like, "Wow, this is different. This is grounded in reality, right?" And it's
Says his Game of Thrones good.
it is, but like, it kind of screws off after a certain season or something. It kind of just. Americans have this knack to write something amazing and then totally just blow up right after. It's like, it's weird.
As you see him encounter conflict, you'll secretly
Kind of like when Squidward is like literally like riding a bike. Everything's hunky dory. And then one decision's made, he hit a rock, he flies off, he hits the dune, and then he hits the floor, and then everything just explodes. It's weird.
wish
That's American writing. I should have used that as a meme. Literally.
for that instant gratification that he'll revert back to his previous savage self. But as you witness this journey of a man fighting so desperately to find peace, who learns that it's okay not just to forgive others, but to forgive himself as well, it becomes an experience that will linger with you and invites you to find your own solace. Watching Vinland Saga feels like I'm getting read the greatest bedtime story ever told by my dad. It'll grip you with the purest of tales packed with nothing but raw human emotion that will leave your heart filled to the brim. And by the end of it all, it gives you something, a message, a lesson it earnestly hopes you can take with you. It reminds you that change isn't just something that exists in the boundaries of a fictional story. It doesn't come easy. It's a long, hard, unforgiving road, but you can get there, even if every day you only take one small step at a time. We will always find a reason to fight each other, no matter what time period we are in, weapons we can use, or tools we have at our disposal. But no matter how broken you think the world is, there is still meaning in trying to build a better tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow I can make a brighter day come. Maybe tomorrow I can be just that little bit kinder. Maybe tomorrow I can become a slightly better version of myself. You are capable of letting go of that hatred, even if that hatred is towards yourself. You have no enemies.
Cool. I will definitely go on that Disney can't write women, but I know that's gonna cause trouble.
Hey, teach the Chiefs win the Super Bowl.